G'day, folks. Today, well, I got a few projects coming, but a little bit of work, but not quite up to it yet. So you just have to be patient, and it's hang on, I'll go turn this heater off there. Yeah, I guess it's buzzing in your ears, eh? There. And something, there's something going around in the turbine. Okay, how did I get started in the electrical? I had a relative of mine, okay, we won't get into details, and he was a supervisor, general manager of a construction company, and well, only had electrical contractors, more one company than the others, and they were working for him, and he got me set up. There's a few stories in between here, but okay, he got me set up with an electrical outfit. So I get hired as an apprentice, and so they put me out to pasture with this guy. He was more or less the senior member of this electrical outfit. They had about 10 trucks on the road, and this guy was doing dairies, like I don't know how you call that, a few dairies and some feed companies, and more or less in commercial industrial work. So I worked with him for about 3 years. I was 18 when I started, by the way, and so then he started the company we were working for started to bid on apartment blocks, like high rise, and so he started me on they call that slabs, eh? So I started working on slab. He'd set me up, and he'd come and pick me up at night after my day's work. So I was taking care of the slabs, eh? I worked there on slabs for 3 or 4 years, 5 years maybe, and I became that was my my forte. So then they started bidding on more buildings, eh? And so I became foreman on these apartment buildings, eh? So I take them from the slab distribution, like electrical distribution, apartments, wiring, finishing, the whole 9 yards. And the latter one that I did, it lasted 3 years. It was it was in a block square in the downtown Banana Town. It was 5 floors of underground parking, and then you had a recreation area in the center with the swimming pool, an exercise room, whole 9 yards, and 2 towers. The towers were 28 stories high. They had mechanical rooms on the roof with elevator rooms, and there was a lot, these 2 buildings, and they lasted, just from start to finish, they lasted 3 years, and it's quite involved. And after that, I had I think around 20 guys at one instance working for me on this these 2 towers, and that's at the big of the operation. And this is what this story is all about. How you go from the top the top of the castle, and you end up right in the basement, eh? So I finished, and it was in, I think, the first recession that we had here in Canada, and there wasn't much work, so they had picked up they call that a fire job, eh? Like they burnt, eh? So I had to strip all the old stuff and rewire, but it was a dirty job, eh? So I worked there for a few days, eh? And then I worked as, like, there wasn't many workers there. I was alone, eh? And so I worked there, and then so I go in the office, eh? And I said to the guy, I says, "You got no more, you don't have another job than this?" He says, "No." He says, "That's all we have." Well, I says, "I think you better lay me off come Friday, because I'm not doing this." Not that I thought that I was somebody that I wasn't. I just didn't feel like, and maybe I didn't know there was no work. So, boom, I didn't have a job anymore. I had, you could say, quit. I didn't quit no good job, eh? But then, see, I was union, eh? So then the union got a call, and if you remember back, E.B. Eddies, Ezra Butler Eddies. Well, the union got a call, and they were redoing number. I'm just going to say this for those that know the machines, E.B. Eddies, number 3 paper machine, eh? Which is a toilet tissue, eh? They were redoing it from one end to the other. They were redoing the distribution, the whole. Well, I think it's a new process, and I won't just go through describing you all the nitty gritties. So one day I'm going to tell a story about when Scott Paper bought E.B. Eddies, or was it Kruger? No, it was Scott Paper. But that's a story for another day. Anyways, so union got a call, and hey, we were working 2 shifts, okay? So it's a 12-hour shift. We're working 7 days a week if you want it, okay? Okay, this is in the, it would be in the early 70s, okay? I was making, okay, figure this out. You go back, I was making over $3,000 a week clear, okay? Do you figure how many hours? I don't remember the wages then, eh? We used to go in the morning when it was dark, and we'd come back out at night and it was dark. We'd never see, the building's all cement, all enclosed, eh? So you never seen the sun, eh? And remember I told you for 3 years I was foreman for a high-rise, and I was up at the ladder of success. Well, you know what I was doing for over a year? They were stripping all the pipes and the wire. I had a buggy, and I was picking all the scrap on the floor. Because you may be the smartest guy. This is the thing, eh? If you're not known by another outfit, another company, you may be the smartest, most experienced guy in the world. The other guys don't know you, eh? So you could be just clean. Well, that's what I was doing. I was sweeping the floor and picking the stuff. There was guys working in the ceiling all over, and throwing everything. And I was, there had to be, okay, there had to be a guy picking up and sweeping, eh? And we were 2, me and another guy, and that's what our job was. But this outfit that got that contract, okay, well, maybe 10 years after, I got to go back to work for them in the sawmills, up the valley here. And I worked for those guys for over 30 years. and I got to be foreman. But there was a lot between the job that paid a lot and going back to this company. There was a lot of stories in between. Maybe someday. But this whole exercise today is to tell you that sometimes you're at the top of the ladder of success, and then the rungs start breaking, and you end up right at the bottom. But you know, one thing I learned is never give a guy a hard time and get on his case, because you never know. Later down the line, you may be working for this guy. Well, I wasn't the type to be hard. As long as a guy did his day's work, I never really got on nobody's case. But I had some special people that I had as supervisor or foreman. But that's a story for another day. It's a shorty, eh? Top of the ladder of success, right down the rungs break, and you end up right at the bottom. And it takes about 24 hours. That's it, folks. That's my story for today. Comments are welcome, and we'll see you in the next one.